Welcome to the Mike Litton Experience Podcast. Mike has over 31 years experience in real estate, finance, and investing. He's passionate about being a father, a teacher, a realtor, an investor, and a leader. Everyone has a story, and our passion is to help them tell it. And now, introducing the host of the Mike Litton Experience, Mike Litton.
So what can you expect from the Mike Litton Experience? You can expect stories that will inspire, motivate, advice that will sharpen your focus, and expert information on real estate, finance, and market conditions.
Guys, what am I doing wrong? I said, well, are you ready to learn now?
Right.
Because it's very educational. I have to teach a lot of skills, a lot of things that are going on from their past. So it's very individualized, one-on-one, the coaching. And that's why coaching really works. And for me to grow my business, I had 12 coaches because I knew I needed the exact instruction to do what I needed to do.
Yeah.
Like I had one of the best podcast coaches. I had the best business coach, whatever money could buy, I was going to get that person because I wanted to grow very quickly. And that's why coaching works. It's instructional. You get exactly what you need.
Yeah.
So I've been doing straight coaching since 2017. I absolutely love it. And so do my clients.
And the best thing about it is you're coming alongside them and you're staying with them.
Yes.
Right. Counseling,
trauma recovery,
that kind of thing. It's therapy, right? But the coaching part is the application part.
Yes. They're lucky they have a coach that is a therapist. And then I went on to get advanced training as the CCTP 2, which is Advanced Certified Clinical Trauma Professional. So now I teach them all the trauma recovery tools early on, and it's both childhood and love trauma. They heal from that. They raise their self-esteem, their confidence. They get balance in life. Spirituality is an important part of healing. So they learn motivational. We create what is the life you desire. Like I have a lot of people making great money. They hate their jobs. What is it you want to do? Let's make that work. So we do all of that in part one. And then part two is if they're single, how to date successfully. So you're not dating toxic people. What are you looking for in date one, date two? And if they're a couple, I have 3 entities, partner A, partner B, and the relationship. So I have to do their individual childhood trauma assessments and then teach each one why they're pushing each other's buttons and how to work with each other in a kinder, more loving way. And then I do a lot of communication skills. That's from, Penn State broadcasting and communication skills. That's where I brought that in. So all my life experience is put into my coaching program. Even the modeling, it's like you can't go out there and expect to succeed in dating world unless you have your look together. I pick their pictures. Like this is exactly what you're going to have in your pictures. So then once they said, oh, online dating doesn't work. And I'm like, well, yeah, because you have this profile and these pictures. I'm going to change that for you. And then I'm thinking of one girl, Leah. She goes, oh, please don't send me back out there. I hated online dating. I said, let's try it with your new profile and your new pictures and watch what happens. And she ended up getting engaged to someone she met online.
Wow.
And then she got promoted in her job. And, so it's life coaching in all areas, including love.
So it was because you brought her back in and you equipped her and then sent her back out.
Yes. Yeah. I really take the subconscious fears and make it all conscious aware. We call it conscious dating.
Right.
Most people just go out and date. They don't think about it. They sit there, they have a couple drinks, they just chit chat. No, our people know exactly what they're doing, what questions they want to ask. They don't want to waste a lot of time. They want to know, is this worth a second date or a third date? And they have to know why.
So give us an example of what the questions are. So in case somebody's listening and they're having a tough time dating, and I know online dating is scary and all that kind of stuff. I get all that. But give us an example of some questions that people can ask.
It's easy. Like, let's say you're a baby boomer and you're in Florida, which a lot of them retire here. And someone says, so are your parents in this area? Are they still living? Easy question, common. Doesn't sound like interview questions, but now we know what we're listening for.
Yeah.
So, for example, I had one lady that asked the question. She's there initially. The date was great. You know, he opened up the chair for me. We got something to drink. He offered me an appetizers. Our people know never get a dinner, just get something small to eat. Um,
Why?
and she asked this question
But why? Why only an appetizer?
because you may not want to be with that person for 2 hours, and that
Oh, there you
the
go.
date shouldn't pay for a dinner if you're not really serious about them, and you don't know that. You're just meeting these people.
I got you.
You
So
may ask a few questions and know you want to be out of there within the hour.
so you've got specific instructions
Oh, exact.
and specific. I love this. This is awesome. Okay. So they go out on the
Exact.
date, they have the appetizer, and they ask about the parents.
Right. So this gentleman said, "Well, you know, my dad died already." She goes, "Oh, well, that's a shame." You know, they're having a conversation. He goes, "Well, he was an alcoholic, you know, until I was about 13. It was pretty bad." So now she knows what the 10 childhood traumas are.
Mhm.
So boom, there's one. And she goes, "Was it real bad?" "Oh, yeah, he's a yellow screamer, physically abusive." So now we know the level of severity is like a 10, you
Wow.
know, because we assess that. And he goes, "But at least he stopped drinking. I was 13 and he wanted to make amends. So we go fishing and hunting. And, you know, then my dad became, you know, a safer space for me." So then in
Mhm.
her head, she goes, "Okay, that sounds like that's been healed."
Mhm.
"And your mom, is she in the area?" "Oh, well, oh, my mom, if I didn't have to see her, I wouldn't. I'm stuck paying her, you know, her home bills. She's in a nursing home." And she never stopped drinking. She was very critical and controlling. Like, I hate my mom. If I didn't have to go see her, I wouldn't.
Oh,
Boom. That's called a mother hater. She
wow.
knew that they come on really hard, very charming because they want love from a woman,
Yeah.
but down the road, they can be very abusive if that is not healed in
Yeah.
their lifetime.
Wow.
So she gave it thought. She goes, "Seems like a nice guy, but too many red flags for me." He called the next day. She goes, "Well, after giving it much thought, you know, you're a very nice person. I just don't think we're quite a match." And
Yeah.
he starts yelling at her. "Well, what do you mean? What the hell do you think's wrong with me?" And
Yeah.
she goes, "You know what? I'm sorry. I don't absorb yelling and screaming. So I'm going to wish you well. Have a great day." Hung
Right.
up on him, you
Wow.
know, disconnected, blocked the number, and she starts laughing. She goes, "Thank God I
Yeah.
had Rihanna's class."
No kidding.
Because they know exactly what to do
Yeah.
if something toxic shows up. And she knew what to look for, you know. So before you go on to date two, it's a very conscious decision. Now, that's just like the tip of the iceberg
Yeah.
of what there is to learn and how to handle it,
Yeah.
you know.
That's so
So,
cool. That is so
yeah.
cool. I just love that you equip people with that.
Oh, it's so
One other
necessary.
one other
Yeah.
question. You mentioned something about balance, which I know
Yes.
a lot of people, including me, struggle with. What's the key to balance in life?
It's life balance. I have a lot of what I call balance triangles. I talk about this in the Live book. For yourself, it's like mind, body, spirit, and it's an equilateral triangle. If any of those are off, you start feeling anxiety. So, body would be good diet, exercise, good sleep, just really self care.
Mhm.
You know, spirit, are you doing enough mindset reading? Are you meditating? You know, keeping that positive attitude going. And, you know, the brain, to me, is like flowers. You have to keep feeding it good
Mhm.
soil, you know. So
Yeah.
keep feeding your brain with positive motivational, you know, books and writings. And mind work, like, are you still growing and learning and challenging yourself so that life is exciting and not boring? Are you on top of events? Are you doing something creative? So that's balanced triangle within the self. Then once you have a partner, it's me, you, and us.
Mhm.
So are you taking care of yourself enough? Are you giving all your time to the relationship? Or he's too busy, you're too busy, and the relationship has no time,
Right.
right? It all the it's like your own time would be work, exercise, friendship time. But if you're only doing that, and when there's kids in the equation, now it's living for the kids. And then
Yeah.
what happens? The kids are 17, 18, and the parents split up because the kids are raised and there's
Yeah.
no connection.
Yeah.
You know, so I look at many different balance triangles when I work with my people and rebalance their life. Many people living with worry about the future. That's those that have anxiety. And those that are stuck in their past, that's usually where depression lies.
Yeah.
So I look at everything. We do everything holistically, mind, body, spirit, no psychotropic drugs, because that's just a band-aid. And
Yeah.
it's not getting to the root of the problems, which are always based in childhood trauma.
Wow.
So I have to
That's,
heal that first.
that's incredible. You're like talking to an encyclopedia. I love this. Okay.
It's a lot to learn.
Well, this is a lot more
Like,
this is a lot more than I was expecting, but I was expecting that you knew your stuff because I saw the books you've written, right? And the things that
yeah,
you've done. It's just the body of work that you've done in your life is just amazing. I mean,
it's
it's
a lot. Yeah, I've
really
written
impressive.
13 books, including some of the ebooks. I'm in the midst of writing a book on healing trauma.
Yeah.
And I've written a lot of courses, some for singles, some for couples. Couples is called Relationship Rescue. The singles course is called Dating to Mating.
Yeah.
And then since I wrote Dating to Mating, that's the most popular course. But then all this toxic stuff in dating kept showing up, the sociopaths, the narcissists, the manipulators. And I'm like, I need a course just to make sure my people are safe.
Yeah.
So that one's called Success in Dating, which is only focuses really on the dating piece.
Yeah.
But the real intensive trauma work around childhood and love trauma is under Dating to Mating.
Yeah. Well, that's important though. The dating thing is something that so many people go into with no skills whatsoever, right?
True.
And we're a
They don't
big
think they need it.
yeah, we're a big fan here of the power of questions, right?
Okay. Yeah.
We are literally every single episode we're talking about something having to do with the power of questions. And what you've done is you've equipped them with the right type of questions so that they're literally filtering and pre-qualifying, so to speak, right?
Absolutely.
Whether this is something that might go to dinner, right? I mean, it's
Yes.
like we're there, we're having an appetizer, and it's got to feel for them completely different because they're equipped. Like
Yeah.
they're walking into it with a confidence that they never had before.
Exactly,
I mean,
Mike. Exactly.
that's just gotta be incredible for them.
This is what we call empowered dating.
Yeah.
Too many coaches out there, and I don't know if they have certifications or not, but they're there. You have to be vulnerable to find love. I'm like, that's the worst thing to tell someone to do
Yeah.
because being vulnerable puts you in a state of weakness.
Yeah.
To be able to talk about anything is empowering,
Yeah.
right? And there's a certain way to talk about your past. You don't just blurt out, I was abused as a kid,
Right.
not on the first date. If that's part of your history, there's a certain way to talk about it later.
Yeah.
If that person even qualifies to
Right.
hear your life story.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
there is a protocol to dating successfully.
Yeah.
And I have this quiz on my website, which is my name, rianamilne.com. That's free. It's like, are you really ready to date and for a relationship? And it's a
Mhm.
10-point quiz. And when you take it, you have to get all 8s out of 10. And,
Yeah.
take it and be honest, because I'm not seeing your scores unless you want me to do a discovery session with you.
Right.
But that's how it kind of serves as a roadmap. Like you have to feel fantastic about yourself and your life and feel like you're the whole package
Yeah.
before you go out there to date. Because if you still are struggling with a legal problem or financially, or you feel you have to lose 20 pounds and you don't feel good about your body or confident, I'll tell you, probably 8 out of 10 of my people have weight loss issues
Yeah.
and they lose the weight working under me, or there's parent child issues because the child's upset the way the divorce went down. Well, we got to heal that because nobody wants a toxic child coming into a dating relationship. So
True.
you gotta be the whole package before you even go out there and date.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of someone I just graduated. She goes, I want to do the trauma piece, but I don't want to date. I'm good. I don't need anyone. I'm like, yeah, you say that now. By the time we're at part two, we're
Right.
going to get you out there and you're going to be fine. And I get it because I know they're so traumatized by a dating situation before. But once they learn all the skills and they see, okay, this is a roadmap and I get it, they really do have fun
Yeah.
and they're really successful and they're really meeting good people
Yeah.
and they can tell right away the red flags and like, no, I'm not having a second date with this person. So that it's a lot of skills that they know, but by the time they're out there dating, it's very easy to have a great time. And that's the goal of dating. So many people go out, it's like, I want to be married, or is this the one? And that puts all this pressure on themselves and the person in front of them instead of them just relaxing and having a good time.
Yeah.
And that's what dating should be.
And let's be honest, when you put that kind of pressure on yourself, you overlook certain things that
You
really
come
are
off, your
red
energy
flags.
is too needy. Yeah,
Yeah,
your energy is too intense, too
yeah,
needy. And like I said, nobody wants a project. They want someone who is emotionally and ready and their whole life is together,
yeah.
you know?
And
So
marriage is rough enough without having a project on your hands, right?
exactly.
Yeah, that is
Exactly.
really, really cool. I'm so glad that we did this. So
Yeah,
here we
me
go. I
too.
have a question for you. What are
Okay.
you working on today that you're most excited about?
I'm actually so busy, I need coaches under me. So
Oh,
I
so
am
you're hiring.
looking,
You're hiring.
well, I'm training. It's not like
Okay.
I'm hiring. I have to train, but I would become the supervisor.
Yeah.
And then when business comes into me, like I'm thinking of one of my incredible graduates, a lesbian, that I would love for her to have my LGBT community.
Right.
I would like to have a great male coach to handle my men coming in,
Right.
right? And someone maybe handling couples work. So definitely people who are licensed counselors, licensed social work, who are sick of the insurance system because
Mhm.
they don't pay us what we deserve. They haven't given us more than a $5 raise in 20 years.
Right.
So someone who really wants to earn what they deserve to make by changing people's lives completely. Those are the types of people I'm looking for. So my graduates qualify, anyone with a mental health background, psychology background, that I can train, and then they're like my junior coaches.
So are these remote jobs or do they have
All
to be in
remote.
your area?
Yeah, they're all remote. They can live anywhere.
Okay, that's
Just
cool.
like me, I can live anywhere and do my work. So
Right.
my Delray office I closed in 2017 and came home and said, I'm going global.
There you
And
go.
that was the goal, and that's when I hired my business coach for 1 year. And I needed to know all those tips and tricks. And then I had John Lee Dumas as my podcast coach,
Mhm.
who's wonderful. He has Entrepreneur on Fire. So one of the top podcast schools, that you can learn how to do that. So, and it's like I commit to 100 shows. Well, that's a lot of work putting out a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I do know. We
So
just we just passed 100 shows.
yeah, I have 122 now.
Yeah.
So
So we
yeah,
just
it's a
passed
lot.
100 shows and we'll end this month with 150 plus.
Yay.
So yeah,
Congratulations.
it's been crazy. Um, so
Yeah,
so what are you working on for the future? What are you most excited about for the future?
that's what I'm working on right now.
I got you.
And
Okay.
yeah, that's getting, SOP, standard of operation procedures together. The manuals were just re-edited for singles and couples this year,
Yeah.
January, February, just rewrote them. So they're ready. So the materials have been time tested and proven. I just needed to update the manuals and write the SOPs and then start training.
Yeah, I love what you're doing. So are you
Thank you.
working on another book?
That would be the trauma recovery book. I'm
Yeah.
100 pages in.
Okay.
But, usually what I do to write, I take myself on a vacation with nobody with me.
Oh, good for you. Is this
Yeah.
ever fun?
The first 100 pages I wrote in 4 days when I was in Acapulco for my
Ooh,
birthday. It's like I am just going to go ahead and travel. And I sat on the balcony and just wrote.
good for you.
So, I just need quiet. I can't
Yeah.
have all the emails coming in and all the phone calls because your mind just gets
Yeah.
disrupted. So, and Love Beyond Your Dreams, I wrote every weekend, Friday morning till Sunday night to exhaustion. So
Yeah.
that could have been 11, 12, 1 in the morning. And then between that time, and I knew I was moving to Florida, and I said, this book has to be done in 6 months.
Yeah.
And that was the 400-page book, 18 rounds of editing, 6 ghost readers that read and say, I don't get this point, or expand here, or explain this further.
Yeah.
So you go through your 6 co-write readers, and then do their edits. So it's a big process, and I'm
Yeah.
really proud that I was able to do that. I'm like, oh, I needed that done before I went to Florida, and I didn't get it in the mail.
So you
And
wrote
then
it
I walked.
yourself. No ghostwriter.
Oh no, these books I write myself.
Wow.
So I showed up at my
Wow.
door in Florida, and there's a package with my book. I'm like, it's done.
Yay.
So,
How'd that
and that was
feel?
my goal. I made my goal. I opened it up, threw it on the coffee table because you've read it 25 times.
Right.
You don't need to read it again. It's like, yay, it's done. And,
How did
you
that
know,
feel?
oh, it feels great. It feels great. It's a lot of work to write a great book,
Yeah, it
especially
is.
I think I have 350 resources cut into Love Beyond Your Dreams.
Wow.
So it's, when I'm writing, I have papers all over my floor. It's
Sure.
like, oh, what was that one comment from this guy? I want to
Exactly.
write that in. So yeah, it's a lot of great education.
A lot of research. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, for sure. All my stuff is research based.
I love your
So
work
research
ethic.
never ends.
Your
That's why I
whole
keep,
life is just about your work ethic. It's just incredible.
thank you. Yeah, that my parents taught me.
Yeah.
Have work ethic, keep working, try to make a difference in the world. But yeah, and now I have two daughters also, and they are amazing doing work similar.
Oh, I love it.
Stefana runs the Florida Freedom to Read project, where they are trying to stop the banning of books. And Alexi is a personal transformation coach. Her name's Alexi Panos,
Mhm.
and her husband are two of the top coaches in the world in personal transformation. His name is Preston Smiles. So, when you teach mindset work to your kids,
Mhm.
they can do whatever it is they desire to do.
Yeah.
So, most of my people I work with are parents, and I'm like, please teach your kids this
Right.
early on. Teach them that they can do whatever they dream to do, be whoever they choose to be,
Mhm.
make a difference in the world, and go for it. Now I see my six grandkids starting to do that. My
That's
little 10-year-old Logan just said, Grandma, you'll be so proud. I just talked to the school board of Florida without notes or anything. And I'm like, oh my
wow.
God,
Wow.
third generation, go for it.
That's
Yeah,
so cool. That's got to be fun to watch that
it
happen.
is. It's really
Yeah.
amazing. I said, I am so proud of you,
Yeah.
and
You should
Nancy's
be.
is in student council. So already, the mindset stuff is trickling down. And
Yeah.
just like childhood trauma, it impacts three generations.
Hmm.
So can mindset for success. So choose one.
Yeah.
Because when I work with people, it's like they had childhood trauma, and 100% of us have some trauma. Okay, so
Sure.
we have to figure out what it is. And then their parents had it, and then their grandparents had it. So we have to stop the generational pull on that.
Hmm.
As a matter of fact, they had found doing DNA studies that the survivors of the Holocaust, their lineage have like a high anxiety level all the way down since their survival. Their actual genes, dispositions were changed to
Wow.
be wired for high anxiety. So this really does impact people in a lot
Yeah,
of
it does.
ways. And one sign is like my people are always high anxiety
Yeah.
when they're coming into me. So we have to do the brain work to get the brain to influence the body to calm down.
Yeah.
So we do vitamin therapy, meditation, mindset work. So there's a lot of tools to teach.
Well, depending upon the trauma, they build up a wall because they're protecting
Yeah.
themselves, right? And all
Right.
that creates anxiety because you
Yeah.
get in, you build up that wall and then you end up in relationships you shouldn't be in. And,
Yeah.
the whole world feels like it's crashing in on you. And I mean, you have a lot of work to do with these people.
Yeah. It's a lot of fear-based
Oh,
negative
sure.
thinking.
Yeah.
Or if there's a relationship that went bad, I call it rumination, like always wondering, what did I do wrong? What could I have done differently? The next one's going to do this. It's
Yeah.
like
Blaming
constant, constant,
yourself. Yeah.
constant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's staying stuck in the past. We have to stop that pattern so you can go on and feel free and happy to create that life you really do desire
Yeah. That's
and
got to
know
be
the
an
love you
amazing
deserve.
feeling. That's got to be an
Yeah.
amazing feeling for them when they work with you. Well,
Oh,
I
yeah.
cannot thank you enough for being our guest on the Mike Litton Experience. This has been amazing. We're going to put a link to your website in the description.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you so much. This flew by. I can't even believe we're at our end time. And
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed every second of this. Thank you so much. I feel so unbelievably blessed that we had an opportunity to meet and spend time together. It's great to get.
Likewise.
Thanks
Thank you,
again.
Mike. Thank you so much for having me. I'm sure we had a lot of powerful concepts going out to our listeners today. So thank you so much.
Appreciate you. We hope you enjoyed another episode of the Mike Litton Experience. If you did, do us a favor, smash that subscribe button, tell your friends, family, and coworkers about our program, and wherever you get your podcasts, please leave us a rating. It helps us to connect with quality people just like you.
And that's a wrap. Another episode of the Mike Litton Experience in the books. Reach out to Mike on Instagram at Litton Realty. Want to meet with Mike? Check out calendly.com/Rio760.